bad news, but I got some news. Yeah, I'm back. I was gone for a sec, now I'm back. On a unwanted vacation where I was at. Time to get the thoughts right back in my head. Bearer of bad news, yeah, I'm back. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I got some news, yeah, I'm back. First day out, all I needed padding, something to write with. Going out, now I'm in the booth and I'm going in. Feel some type of way, well I tell you now I feel the same. Ain't nobody give me a pop, man, to piss in. Mama never held my hand, running around wildin'. That's what the older Zoes call me. My god brother KG, blacker than any African, but he's smoother than any criminal that I ever seen. Y'all already know who my right hand man is, Mr. Teflon, any living little Pakistan. Man, I missed my man while I was gone in the can. All I had time to do, man, was sit back and think, reconstruct my brain. Now I'm ready to get back in the paint. Double dribble turnover, now I'm playing defense. Hardcore in the water is more like single swim. The way that I'm smoking, call it the ocean twins.
KWIK, daily devotions. ZODIAC, what's your sign? I got an interesting subject for real. You ever been to a party and like you introduced to somebody and the person would like to ask you a question, and their question is, what's your sign? And people are just buying out, right? Zodiac charts, straight up, Zodiac charts. They even got them in the newspaper nowadays, like your forecast every day, like where you can read if it's gonna be your lucky day or not. Now, check me out. When people ask me, what's my sign? When I'm in spirit sign, like I'll tell you the dollar sign. Woo, straight up, the dollar sign. When I'm in spirit mode, the dollar sign. What's my sign? The dollar sign. Straight up, dollar sign, man. And I can't spend Gemini. I can't spend Aries. I can't spend those. You know what I mean? I can't spend Sagittarius. I can't spend those things at all. So that's my sign, for real. And I will confess no other on the material sign. Now, that's a powerful sign, ain't it? Now, I can't get into a whole explanation about astrology, but let me say something. There is some truth about everything. There's some true aspects about astrology. But that gets out to the general public has just become idle superstition. I'd like to share something with you. A definition of astrology. Astrology is the study or hearing of how the heavenly bodies affect the lives of man. I say it again to you. Astrology, right, is the study or hearing of how the heavenly bodies affect the lives of man. By the heavenly bodies, we're talking about the stars in the sky, like the sun, the moon, and so on, those things. Now, usually, when people ask me, and they begin to press me, and I want to be a smarter pants, some of them it takes so long before they wise up. Even though I tell them it's the dollar sign, they be like, no, man, what's your sign? I said, man, I told you, it's the dollar sign. And when that doesn't suffice them, I go further and tell them, listen, Linda. The sign in the heavens, whatever they configurations were when I was born, I am not where I am or what I am because of where the stars were. The stars were where they are because of what I am. It'll come to you. In other words, they did the stars and the signs in the heavens when I was born. They did not affect me. I affected them. The signs don't have no power over me. I have power over the signs. You get me? You feel me? Say that with me. The signs don't have any power over me. I have power over the signs. And remember that. Like a line from Shakespeare. You know I've been on my Shakespeare tip. The trouble, dear Brutus, it's not in the stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. So if you're an underling, if you're not what you want to be, or things are not working out how you want them to work out, it's not because of the stars, it's because of you. And so I want to cite something to you, a verse that tells you really what controls your destiny, not your sign, not the stars, not Pluto, not Uranus, not Sagittarius. But listen, and when I do this, I usually look in the mirror. I take my glasses off and I look in the mirror and I get straight up to it. You know what I mean? And this, I tell you this because I'm not saying it just to tickle your ears. I'm telling you this to give you something to use. So I'm telling you how I do it. In the bathroom, in the mirror, straight up. And when you stand, like I take my glasses off. Like when you do this, straight up, you get in there. When you doing this, your subconscious sinks into attention. In the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, the 24th verse, right? I get straight up there. And it's a very clear and concise verse, a statement of what it is that controls your destiny of man. Then repeat this after me and do this in the mirror as affirmation. The Lord of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. I emphasize like that on purpose. And as I have purpose, so shall it stand. That emphasizes on purpose. It's meaningful. You got to dig it. It makes it emphasize. So you say it more like this. Surely as I have thought. You got to say it like that. So shall it come to pass. Like you mean it. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand. Like, let me tell you something. The theologians, they have taken the Bible and they've done a number on us, for real. When the Lord God speaks, it's not no big granddaddy speaking out of the sky. It's really telling us something about ourselves. Notice, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. That's real. That right there gives us the secret. That's the secret. That's the secret of the power of our own thought. See, but the theologians put that in the mouth of God, but it's through your mouth that God speaks. Do you know that your mouth is the only mouth that God has? Do you know that? Do you know that the only personality that God has is man? As I have thought, so shall it come to pass. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As I think in my heart, so am I. That emphasizes so important because you're sinking it down into the subconscious. The Master Jesus said it according to your faith. Like, so it be unto you, so it be unto you. There's one thing I've noticed about human nature. Human nature does not want to take responsibility for itself. People don't want to take responsibility for themselves. Why? They have to have a devil that they could blame or a God that they could put it on. And they have to have a devil in hell or a God in the sky that they could blame their fate on. If they can't do that, they'll blame it on the stars. The stars. Seriously? Other than that, they'll blame it on somebody down the street. They did something. They'll find something for somebody down the street to do something to them. But it's really your thought. So may I say to you, most firmly, you don't need to get your stars uncrossed. You need to get your mind uncrossed. Your stars are not crossed. It's your mind that needs uncrossing, for real. I'm not saying that to clown on you. The stars are not in the wrong place. Your mind is in the wrong place. Your thought is in the wrong place. People don't like to take responsibility for themselves, though. That's true both individually and socially. But be you transformed by renewing of your mind. That's the only thing that's going to change anything. The troubles, they're Brutus. It's not in our stars, but in ourselves. If we're underlings. That's why if you know, like, when you hear me from time to time, I'm not in favor for all this sociological nonsense that tells minorities and blacks that you can't do this, you can't do that, because you are constantly deprived, to be honest. You are disadvantaged. Like, if you could put it in the mind of people that they are disadvantaged, that they are culturally deprived, you have got them. You have got them. But you got to get that out of their mind. Just like this bit of astrology, till you get the, man, you let the stars do you when you're done. Honestly, I'm going to tell you something real quick in a sense to make it make sense to you a little bit. If you think about minority, right, and you see how, okay, white people, right, the white folk, they overarch everything. And they have, usually will say they have the money, right? And it's like, you think like, man, I want to get that bread. If you really look at it, if you sit back and pay attention, look at how, I just out of my eyes real quick, you see them in position, right? And they have it. But if you really look at how he has set it up, Spirit has set it up, and it's for everybody. He shows us that it's not really about working hard. It's really not really about being the smartest. It's all about vibration. All you have to do is match that vibration. You have to match vibration. Seriously. Look at the people that are in the hierarchies, such as the white folk, right? As an example, you should be praising them being in that position, because when you do that, it allows your vibration to raise. You get what I'm saying? For real, for real, for real. And that's a little tool. We did some things tonight, some exercises. That's a little tool for hold that and just let that sink in what I said, for real. Vibration. Vibration. I'm gonna keep thugging for the spirit, though, you know? Thugging for the spirit. Wham!